everyone. We are the matriarchs of Phantom. Today is February 8th, 2024. And our show today, hello, Taco Cat. Our show today is going to be on catchphrases and some slogans that's in some of our favorite movies, TV shows. I figure we can do something fun today. Couple of things that I would like for everyone to think about as we're going over some of these phrases and catchphrases are do you use any of them in your everyday life? What is your favorite one? In the movie or TV show, do you think it was necessary? If you had a chance to change the catchphrase, would you? And some of the catchphrases I've noticed when I was doing a little research on this are catchphrases that are misquote. You know, we think it's one, but actually, when I Google it, it's something else. The first one that I would like to mention, of course, is one that everybody here knows, which is "May the Force be with you." You know, that's, of course, was in Star Wars in 1977. I would like to have Miss Liz mention, what do you think about that quote? Was it necessary? Did you enjoy it? Did you use it in everyday life? Tell us about "May the Force be with you" from Star Wars.
Oh, definitely use it every day. At least anybody around that's a geek, that would appreciate it. And yes, I think it's necessary. And I think it's poignant. And I consider it a blessing, personally. But yeah, that's what I think of it. And I think
Okay.
it's good. Just like the other one I like to use a lot.
Of course, that's the most important one, but Lady Gray,
I use that one most.
of course.
I definitely use it in everyday life, especially like if I know somebody's going into a stressful situation or something like that. I'll say it because, like Miss Liz said, it kind of feels like a bit of a blessing, but also, it's also a bit of levity, maybe to ease somebody's stress. Was it necessary in the movie? Definitely, and I think as the years have gone on and we've gotten more Star Wars content, the magnitude of what that line really means has evolved into something that is very much like Miss Liz said, a blessing. So, yep, love it.
I agree. I agree. Katala?
Oh, it is necessary. It's a good part of the franchise, and I've used it occasionally just as a reminder to myself and to a couple of friends that are going through some rough stuff. And it is almost akin to "I grok you" from "Stranger in a Strange Land" by Heinlein. It's "I understand you, I'm with you, even though I'm not there."
Okay, okay. Um, Miss Liz mentioned one of my favorite ones when she put her hand up just a moment ago. Of course, "Live long and prosper." Also, one of my favorite ones from that same movie, TV show, which of course is Star Trek, is "Resistance is futile." I say it constantly, it's all over my car, in the house, on my computer. Let's talk about Star Trek, either "Live long and prosper" or "Resistance is futile." Miss Liz, go for it.
I've only been using it since I was a kid when I first learned it. And if you, it's one of those things, if you're a member of a Star Trek group or a Star Trek fandom or anybody you know that's into basically Star Trek, it's considered hi bye, live long and prosper, man. See you later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, and for the lucky ones who actually know how to do it.
True that.
Because there are a few people who will look at you like, okay, I can say it, but I can't do it. But yes, it is a mainstay, definitely.
True that. True that. And Calibus said he cannot do it. I'm gonna be honest, I have trouble doing it too, but let's not go there. Oh, somebody! Oh, we got people who showing off. Lady Gray.
I'm actually fairly new to Star Trek appreciation. Thanks to you guys, I've discovered the whole new world. So it's not something I maybe use in my everyday vocabulary, but I do love it. And I don't know, for the people out there, when they had the crossover with Strange New World and Lower Decks, um, when Spock says it says "Live long and prosper" to Boimler. I think every geek felt that because it was like he was saying it to us. So I have a new appreciation of it that I've gained recently. As far as resistance is futile, I have an iPhone, so that's one we say all the time for iPhones. Resistance is futile.
Mm-hmm. Katala?
It's a mainstay. It's a hello, goodbye. That is the response to um, live long and prosper, peace and long life. I believe is the first thing that is said. Then live long and prosper comes after that. But it's good. It sticks. It stays. And resistance is futile. That happens in the military quite a lot. I know that all too well.
In everyday life, definitely, definitely. All right, another one that I have for y'all is There's No Place Like Home from The Wizard of Oz, came out in 39. I'm a little scared of the movie. I hate to admit it. You know, those monkeys, you know, once I see those monkeys, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't see it. But I say it all the time. You know, when after a long day of work, you know, I'm tired. Family gatherings, you know, holidays. There's no place like home, and I think that does. Even though the movie scares me, I think that has a really special meaning, definitely in my life. Miss Liz.
I would totally agree. There is no such thing as no place like home. And as you get, when you're young, it makes a totally different connotation because that's basically your parents' house, the house you grew up in, so that's home. And then when you leave home and you have your own place, then it transfers, and then that's home. But when you still had parents and you still were able to go and visit parents and you know that kind of thing, that meaning really hits home. And so it's iconic. You can't. There is no such thing as no place like home. And I agree with you, Wanda. I don't like the monkeys either. I suffer through them. I watch it, but I don't like the monkeys. That's the only thing I don't like about that movie.
True that. True that. I agree. I agree. Lady Gray.
Well, it's funny you guys don't like monkeys because one of my favorite sayings actually is "Don't make me call my flying monkeys after you." Um, and there's no place like home. Of course, is a good one from the movie. But now I like the flying monkeys because I'm a bit of a at heart. So don't make me call the flying monkeys.
Please, not on me. I'm a bit scared.
They scare me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Katala?
There's no place like home. I prefer to think of it as home is where the heart is. And flying monkeys, well, they can be taken out in a number of different ways, so they're not too scary.
All right, all right. Another one that is on my list is that I use a lot is you're going to need a bigger boat. Now, I do like cruising. I usually go on a cruise about once a year, but I'll use that phrase like regularly, and just in everything life, everyday situations. I don't know why I'm comparing whatever was going on to a boat, but I do. And I say it all the time. Of course, that it is from Jaws, and I lost my place. Jaws came out. You're going to need a larger boat. It's somewhere in my notes. But
Came
yes,
out in 75.
I'm gonna say that again.
It came out in 75.
75. Ooh, I was just a little thing back then. Oh, yeah, you're right. 75. I found where I left off. I'm doing this out of order, apparently. Miss Liz,
Nope, don't use it.
you don't use it.
Don't use it. Have no need for using it. Uh, Never really even thought about it other than when I hear it, I think of the movie Jaws. And
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much it.
Okay, okay. Lady
Now,
Gray?
now I
Oh,
might
go ahead,
use
baby.
my own. I may use my own phrase of it, like if you're shopping and you didn't pick the right shopping cart, and then you go, oh, I'm going to need a bigger shopping cart because when you start out with this and then you need the basket.
Okay, so you do use it, kind of change it
Yeah,
around a
but
little bit, but
that's
you
the
use it.
closest connotation that I use it.
Lady Gray?
I don't know that I use it regularly, but I didn't see Jaws until a few years ago. I didn't see it when I was little because, like you said, it came out in '75. I was 4 years old. Um, so I wouldn't have watched it when I was little. It's gotten to be one that we bought the DVD and we watch when we go camping, especially if we're beach camping. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind, though, because that is pretty funny.
Katala?
Oh, I really don't use it per se. I prefer to use Carpe Diem, which is from Dead Poet Society, which came out in '89. So I will use Carpe Diem more than I need a bigger boat.
Okay, okay. Look like Lady Gray kind of got a message from Marky Mark.
I mean, you know.
The classic. It's a classic.
Well, and I was in college at night for years. So I didn't watch a lot of movies for like a decade. So
Oh,
I'm playing catch up a lot now.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You're forgiven. Maybe.
Well, I was a working mom, so taking classes pretty much it was work, take care of family, and schoolwork, and that was all I had time for a long time. So
Okay. Okay.
Mark is probably
Let's
mad
see.
at
Another
me.
one.
I've only seen it once.
I'm sorry, honey.
I've only seen it once, and once was enough.
What are y'all doing?
Only once, and I never saw the other ones.
Well, yeah,
So
one, two, and
it
maybe three, and let's not talk about four and five. Okay, so another one that I'm sure that we've all have seen is I'm King of the World. That is from Titanic '97. Miss Liz, when was the last time you maybe mentioned that? Or you said it?
well, I probably only use it for fun when we're doing something silly. Yeah, if you're at a convention and you're at the top of the elevator or something like that, or you're putting tables up or chairs or you know stuff like that. I only use it as a you know as a humorous thing. I've never used it otherwise. And yes, I have seen that movie more than once.
Okay, okay.
But generally, whenever I've used it, yeah, it's when we were doing something fun, and you ended up being the top person or the top chair or the top stair or that kind of thing. But
Okay.
yep, that's about it.
Okay, okay. Lady Gray?
Last time we went on a cruise, we got all the way as far forward on the ship as we could and stood at the end, and we all took turns saying, "I'm King." Yeah, So we hammed it up pure Titanic style. So
Katala?
Seen the movie, never used it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Last time I was on a cruise was when I was a kid. We were coming back from Europe to the States on a liner, and I believe I had a birthday on the ship.
Okay, okay. All right, next one on my list is from Frankenstein, 1931. It's alive! It's alive! Now, I don't use this one regularly in my everyday life, but when I was researching, I saw it. It brought back memories. I laughed. So, Miss Liz, it's alive! You got to say it like that too. It's alive!
It's alive! Generally, when I hear that phrase, I think of Gene Wilder. In Young Frankenstein and Gene Wilder.
Computer, cancel.
That's when I think about it as because of that was a hilarious movie. No, I probably have never used it out of context or anything. So, but like I said, the only time I hear it, I think of Gene Wilder and Young Frankenstein. So,
I agree. I agree. Lady Gray?
oh, this is one I actually use all the time. I have a teenage son, and as teenagers are wont to do, he'll sleep till 12, 1 o'clock, and he'll finally come downstairs, and I'll be like, "It's alive," because I haven't heard from him in like a day because he's been holed up in his room playing video games. So, yeah, if you have a teenager, I think you use it.
Natalia?
So I like the Young Frankenstein version, like Miss Liz, and never have had to use it yet.
Okay, okay. All right. Another one on my list is, and I'm going to make sure I say it right because I think sometimes this is misquoted, but my mama always said life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're going to get. Now, I was going to say it in a different way, but my family told me not to really go there, so I'm not. But of course, that's from Forrest Gump, 1984. Miss Liz.
never used it. Never had any reason to use it. I have another saying that I use all the time, and it comes from Bambi. Do you have that on your list?
I do not have Bambi.
Okay. This one's my all-time favorite, and I use it all the time. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And
That is a really good one.
That's what Mama Thumper told Thumper in the movie, and I try to live by that since I was a kid. I've always liked that one. And then, of course, then the other one is she uses is you should not just eat the clovers, eat your greens too. In
Mm-hmm.
other words,
Mm-hmm.
basically what your parents are telling you, don't eat, got to eat your veggies and the good stuff along with the stuff that you like, that kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
Thumper was eating all the clovers off the flowers and leaving the green part, which is the good part.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. I
but
try not to
that
watch
but
Bambi too much. I don't want to cry.
well, I don't. Well, see, now that I've got it, I can. I don't have to watch that part.
Yeah.
I can
Amen.
watch all the rest of it and avoid the 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 heartbreak part.
Yeah.
But
Definitely. Definitely.
I love Thumper to death, and
Okay.
so I live by that philosophy. If you can't say anything nice at all, basically,
Yeah.
I live
That's
by
true.
Thumper's motto.
That's true. That's true. I definitely use that in my everyday life. Lady Gray, either or.
Uh, well, so we'll take and shorten it sometimes, and just say my mama always said, and then change the rest of it. Um, my mama always said you need to eat your peas, or or what my mama always said you need to take out the trash. So we 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 kind of make it our own.
Of course. Of course.
And I think I've seen Bambi like once, and I'll never watch that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope,
Okay. Just thinking
nothing.
about it now makes me want to get some tissue.
Yep.
Katala?
I've seen Bambi, and I have not had a case to use Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. I've not had a chance to use that one yet.
You say you have not seen Forrest Gump?
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen Bambi, but I have not used Life is Like a Box of Chocolates.
Okay. Could be something that get changed up. I might not necessarily say it like that, but like Lady Gray said, I kind of change it up to my own. All right, another one I have is from the Terminator 84. I'll be back. Now, I sometimes use this at work and say, I'll be back. Then I'll just look at them and shake my head. But, it's like, I don't want to come back. But, I use that, in everyday life and just for fun. I usually try not to mean that I'll be back, but I say it. Miss Liz?
Yeah, yeah. When you're with a group and you're going off to do something, like go to the bathroom or something like that, and you do it in a humorous way, say, "I'll be back," and they just kind of look at you like, "Huh?" But yeah, they all look at you like, "Huh?" Why are you announcing it to everybody? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't get it. Some
They
people
don't
just
get
don't get it. It's sad. It's sad. Lady Gray?
Um. Also, I never just say I'll be back. It always has to be I'll be back. You know. So, because I'm a dork. But yeah, it's something I use, and usually, yeah, depending on who I'm with, whether they'll look at me and just shake their head, or laugh. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Katala?
If I'm videoing with either one of my daughters or my sister or a friend, and I have to go AFK, I'll just say, I'll be back, and hop off and then come back, and here's a bad penny back again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Turn.
Alrighty. Another one that I have, a movie that I have not seen in a while. A Few Good Men came out in '92, but you can handle the truth. Miss Liz, do you ever use that in everyday life?
No, I've never actually spoken it, but I have thought it on many occasions when somebody is, saying things that they really haven't got a clue what they're doing. They're basically talking out their rear end, as it were. And no, I don't say it. I may think it, but I don't
Mhm.
say it because, like I said, I live by the thumper philosophy. So I try not to say things that will get me into trouble.
Lady Gray.
Mute. Yeah, no, I know. Um, yeah, I don't think I have.
Okay. Okay. Katala.
Haven't used it, but good movie.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these I use personally. Some of them every now and then, and feel like I'm kind of showing my nerdness out here. I'm feeling a little embarrassed. Okay. One of my favorite movies that I've seen millions of times, from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, my precious. Yeah, I like saying that. I love the movies. Except for maybe the first few. Three, four, and five, or four, five, and six. But my precious Miss Liz,
Oh yeah, I use it all the time on my cats.
or your cats.
Yes,
Oh,
all the
okay.
time. I use it on my cats all the time. And my precious. Yes, I use it on my cats.
Okay. Okay. All right. Lady Gray.
You know, I don't think I have, but at the risk of getting kicked off of here, I never have been much of a Lord of the Rings fan.
Kick
Uh,
her off.
yeah, I know. I know I read some of the books when I was in high school, and I tried to watch the movies, but I kept falling asleep. Um, so I never made it to the part in the movie where they actually say it. I'm familiar with the phrase because I've heard other people say it, but since I never watched the movie, it's not something I would say.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry
have
too.
all of them on the extended version.
Oh, good Lord, I couldn't make it through the regular version, let alone the extended version.
Oh, Calibus isn't a friend. You're not a friend. A fan of. Oh, okay. Just gonna have to just start fanning myself because it's just so sad. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Kataya.
Read all the books, seen all the movies multiple times. I love the scenery. It's all wonderful. And my precious would probably be, I've used it maybe once or twice when I got my car when I was brand new. So, but the movies are excellent, and so are the books.
Okay, I thought about reading the books, but just never actually did it. But the movies, I'll just put them on, just
Love
watch
the
it. It's
scenery.
great. You're behind Miss Lady Gray. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch them, especially the Two Towers and Return of the King. Oh,
Have to have
okay.
a ladies' sleepover watching movies, catching you up.
A
Yeah,
whole
y'all got me
like 2
watching Star
days.
Trek. Come on, baby steps here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 Baby steps. Baby steps. All right. So another movie I'm going to mention is from Apollo 13, 95. Houston, we have a problem.
Problem.
Now I don't think I've ever been to Houston, but I'll just say that phrase just like that, and of course everybody knows they're talking about the space race and Apollo 13. So, Miss Liz, what about Apollo?
Yeah, if you're having a major difficulty and something is not working, I don't think I usually use Houston, but I do go through the. I think we may have, NASA, like NASA I think we have a problem. I don't usually use Houston, but I would say I use NASA. I think we have a problem, which is basically the same thing. And usually when you get that far, it's really a conundrum. You're in deep, serious kimchi when you get to that point.
True, true, true. Lady Gray?
That's what my husband actually uses. Like when something's wrong, goes wrong at the house or something, he'll, he will say that quite often. Houston, we have a problem. Like when the hot water heater went out, he came into the room and said, "Houston, we have a problem," because we had no hot water. So I might not use it, but it is a phrase that gets used around the house.
Okay, okay. Katala?
Haven't had a chance to use it verbally, but I've thought it lots.
Okay, okay. Don't want to be in any of y'all minds. Let me see. Another one that I see is from The Godfather Part 2, 74. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. That's one I probably have thought in my head. I don't think I've actually used that. But I, especially at work, I'll just be glaring at people and think that, coworkers, management, Miss Liz.
Nope. I have never had the had to use it. I don't know whether I've ever thought it, but I totally understand where it's coming from. But and as far as Godfather is concerned, I surrender. I have never seen it.
Okay.
I tried watching the first Godfather, and I usually make it about the first 30 or 40 minutes, and then I just can't go. No, can't do it. It just. I don't understand.
It's a long movie.
I just can't get into, and I'm not really good at movies where I have to read a lot of subtitles. You know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not a. I have suffered through a few movies where I've had to read subtitles, and I have to really be into the subject to be able to do that.
Okay.
And The Godfather just didn't do anything for me. And I've tried like 3 times to watch it, the first one, and I've never gotten.
So you're not a gangster. You're not a gangster.
I have never been able to do any of them except for that little itty bitty bit. But I know all about them.
Okay.
I know all about them, but I've never seen it.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lady Gray?
Definitely something I have thought at work. If you work in a competitive environment, you definitely think that. And like you said, looking at coworkers, looking at bosses or whatever, if you're out there in a working environment, I think it's something that definitely comes to mind. Unless you're really naive.
And Kantala.
It's good to have on hand, especially when you're in the military and you've got to work with another company or battalion. So you know who your friends are and watch out for keep the other ones a little bit closer so you can keep an eye on them.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. And I'm going to mention one more, but there are just so many on my list. We can talk about this for like hours, from, movies and TV shows, commercials, well, maybe I won't name this one. I know one of the ones that, when I was mentioning that I was going to do this subject, an oldie but goodie, where's the beef? I saw that. I just laugh. I haven't seen the commercial in years, but that Wendy's commercial, those three ladies, it was just hilarious. And most of these I enjoy, and like I said, there's just so many more from James Bond, and we talked about Star Wars and Star Trek, and I have E.T. up here and James Bond. It's just so many phrases and slogans that we use, and it's just funny how much of these items, these sayings that we say in everyday life. And sometimes I don't even notice that I'm saying them. They just, I guess the movie pop in my head or just that saying pop in the head and I just use it. So it's pretty cool showing how much I guess TV and movies that we watch. I watch a lot of them. And it's just good. It's good. And I know fellow nerds or geeks or people in our lives, sometimes they know what we're talking about, sometimes they don't, but I know what I'm talking about, and I'm happy that I do. So that's kind of my final thought, but I would like to ask Miss Liz from any of the other slogans that's out there, what would you say is your favorite one?
I like the one that comes from Toy Story too. You got a friend in me.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one a lot.
Okay, good.
And that one's probably one of my favorites. And like you said, there are so many from James Bond and other movies that, like you said, we could, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we got the classics from the commercials that always pop into your head a lot. Like the one you talked about a few minutes ago with the three ladies. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that one all the time, if they come out with a small portion of something
Mm-hmm.
instead of, that's the first thing you think of. And then, of course, then if you've had too much to eat, then you think of plop, plop, fizz, fizz. And, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, I'm
Marky
just
Mark, oh, I
laughing.
love that
I'm
one.
laughing.
It's only a fresh room. And
I
and
don't
then
use that one.
and then there's the one, we are the knights of neat.
I don't really like those movies. I'm sorry.
You don't like Mighty Python and the Holy Grail?
No, Mark and the
Oh my
girls will
God!
watch it. They would, I know I know, I'm sorry. I'm aware of what they say, but if that was the last movie on TV, I still probably rather just play chess.
Oh my
Um,
God! Oh
Lady
my God!
Gray.
It's one of the funniest movies of all time.
No.
Yeah, they're only little rabbits,
Oh,
Um,
and so on and so forth. There are so
so
many. There are so many lines in that movie that still come out that still come out of my head all the time. Like, and of course one of my favorites, which is the one my sister likes to do, is bring out your dad.
I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead, Miss Gray.
okay. Um, well, I was gonna another movie that has a lot of catchphrases as well, not movie, but the Harry Potter series. And I think one of my favorite lines comes from that. And when in doubt, go to the library.
Hmm,
And I think those are good words to live by because you know if you don't know, don't say something if you don't know. Go do your research. So when in doubt, go to the library.
okay, okay. And Takala.
Second breakfast.
Where's that from?
It's from Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
The
Rings.
Hobbits.
Oh yeah,
Breakfast, but what about second breakfast? Elevensies and luncheons and dinner and then supper and
yeah. Okay.
All they ever wanted to do was eat, 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 eat. Every time you turn around, they wanted something to eat.
Oh
and then
yeah.
there's always Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I like the one Marky
That
Mark just
movie is
said.
so long. I've seen that movie a few times and still don't know what's going on in it.
And Soylent
I
Green.
It's a crazy machine. It's gone
yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Hal is nuts.
He's lost it.
And there's
I
Soylent
guess,
Green then.
huh?
Oh, yeah.
Soylent Green.
Oh,
Oh
Soylent
yeah, I read
Green,
the book.
yes.
Yeah, now we're going back to high school days.
Soylent Green's got a really one. That you hit, yeah, she got it right there. She nailed it on the head. Oh my God, that
1984,
is
Big
one
Brother's
hell of a
watching.
movie.
Yeah, that's a
All
good one.
right. Now I will say my one last, I guess, phrase is from what I understand when I Google it, the most famous, at least according to Google, catchphrase is from Gone with the Wind. And
Frankly,
frankly,
my
my
dear, I don't
dear,
give a
Give a
I
damn.
damn.
don't give a,
Frankly,
which
my dear,
is
I don't
Clark
give a damn.
Gable as Rip Butler, 1939. I tried watching that movie, got bored, turned it off, fell asleep. All right, ladies, and everyone that was joining us today. I appreciate everyone coming in, catchphrasing. Looks like we will be back on February 22nd, of course, on a Thursday, 2 Thursdays from today. And thank you for joining and have a lovely night. And we will be back.